We live in a time when the latest and the greatest comes every single year.
Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone. This new iPhone 3G is one of the most amazing products I've ever had the privilege to be associated with.
Because this is the most powerful, fastest iPhone we've ever made.
Every company comes out with a new product with the best and new features every single year. And that puts us consumers in a really difficult situation.
Forward-thinking phone we've ever created.
They are without a doubt the best iPhones we've ever done. The iPhones you are about to see.
You buy something that's latest and greatest in that year, but the next year it's not.
This is the best iPhone we have ever made.
So you really need to ask yourself, do you need the latest and greatest for your next purchase?
Resolution and pixel density ever in an iPhone. It's the first iPhone.
The answer is no. You don't need the latest and the greatest products, but you need what's essential for you. Hey guys, welcome to a new video. And in this video, we go over 3 steps that will help you out in your next purchase decision. These 3 steps I have come upon thanks to being a minimalist. These steps help me buy something that's essential to me and not just look at the greatest and latest and the best product. It's really important for you to find out what's essential to you, and only then you can buy a product that will serve you for the longer term. So these 3 steps are really simple. If all those are tick marks on your checklist, only then purchase the product, and I believe it will help you serve a longer period of time. And these 3 steps you can use to purchase any general purpose item, but it really helps out if you use these steps when you're purchasing something for the longer period of time like technology. So let's go to the 3 steps. The first step, or the first thing that you need to keep in mind, is affordability. You need to keep in mind if that product that you want to buy is something that you can afford. It just doesn't mean that you can afford in the moment, but is it sustainable for the longer period of time? Don't just buy something because you want to buy it and then fall into problems. A lot of us, including me, make the mistake of buying stuff on credit or on installments. That's something that I have done in the past, and it was a very big mistake. And for that reason, I put the future self of me in a big problem. So whenever you purchase something, always keep in mind if you can afford it in that moment, and it's better to buy it upfront with cash. Don't buy it on installments, because in that case, you never know what's happening in the long run if you have a positive cash flow in the longer period of time, because as you know, events can happen and it can hamper your purchases in the future. For example, the current situation in the world, no one could have predicted, but that has happened, and for this reason, you need to always keep in mind that bad things might happen in the long run. So whenever you're purchasing something for a longer period of time, keep in mind if you can afford it and if that affordability is sustainable for a longer period of time. Only then you can justify, put the tick mark, and move on to the next step. The next question that you need to ask yourself is that product a need or a want? If you have studied basic economics, you know these 2 terms. The problem is, as we grow up, we tend to forget these 2 terms. So whenever you make a long-term purchase, you need to definitely ask yourself if it's a need or a want, because if it's a want, it's a craving for the short term. Like a dessert, you want to eat it for the short term, but in the long term, it's not good if you keep on consuming sweet products. So it's similar to things you buy. You need to realize if it's a want or a need, because if it's a want, it will only serve you in the moment. But if it's a need, it will serve you for the longer period of time. For example, if you already have a really good camera and now you see the release of the new Canon camera or the new Sony a7S III, and you ask yourself, I need to buy that latest camera because it has all the features that I need. But you need to ask yourself if that product is a need or a want, because in the long run, that's what's important. For example, you already have a really good camera. So in that case, you should, for example, invest on lighting or audio. That might be your need, but the camera you want to upgrade might just be a want. So you need to decide if that's a need or a want, and if you know which one's what, then you can move on to the next step. The third and final point that you need to keep in mind is the features of the product that you want to buy. Are those essential to you? This point is really important. You need to buy products whose features are essential to you and who serve you as a unique consumer. You don't need to go for the latest and greatest features because you might not need them. Nowadays, since a lot of companies come out with different products, and any category you go to, you have tons of products to choose from. And this paradox of choice puts us consumers in a tough situation, and we suffer from decision fatigue. And for this reason, it's really tough for us to decide which product we want and which product we need and the features that are essential to us. So whenever you buy any product, keep in mind a list of features that's essential to you. Don't just dive into the list of products that are available. Before that, figure out the features that are essential to you. For example, this broken iPhone 6, I think, I used it in the final year of my university life because it served the purpose of just being a communicating device that I could call my parents with and keep connections with my friends. I really didn't need a really good camera or good battery life. I just needed a communicating device. So I used it for around a year, and when the screen broke, I still used it because the essential features were still working. But then slowly I upgraded to this phone. Now, this is not the latest and greatest phone. This is the iPhone 6 Plus, which has been released 4 years, almost 5 years ago, and still I bought it last year. I got it cheap, second hand. The only reason I bought this is because it served the purpose, my essential features. I needed a phone that didn't have a broken screen like this one, that had a good battery life, that had a decent camera, and I could just use social media and take photos. And those were essential to me. And that's why I got this product, and I have been using it for the past few months. And now, yeah, I do want to upgrade to a better phone with a better camera because I'm taking lots of photos nowadays. But that's what is essential to me at the moment. So the third point you need to keep in mind is essential features for the product you need to buy. Keep in mind the features that are essential to you. Don't just look at the reviews online and the products that people are sponsoring, because you need to know which is the right product for you, and only then you can make the best purchase for the long period of time. So those were the 3 steps, the 3 questions that I ask myself, that I follow whenever I'm trying to purchase something, especially long-term investment. I hope these steps can help you out in your next purchase, but I really would love to know, what questions do you ask yourself when you are trying to buy something? Do you ask yourself anything, or you just dive in and buy the product? Let me know in the comments below what kind of questions you ask, what's the process you go through whenever you're trying to invest in something, maybe a camera or smartphone. I'd love to know, discuss, because I think different people have different ways of coping up with these purchase decisions. For me as a minimalist, those were the 3 steps I follow. But if you are someone who's interested in minimalism, I made this video where I talk about the basics of minimalism, a small short guide to get you started. So if you're interested, go and watch that video. I hope this video brings value to you, and I'll see you in that video. Thanks for watching.